I invite you to shed some light on your life and take a look and watch and see what there is to see. And I assert that when you light the way, you see the way. When you light the way, you see the way. And you see with new perspective. Have you heard of the Tao? The Tao, a Chinese philosophy also known as the Way. And in the Tao, they speak about this path being like walking down a hallway as a blind person with a stick. And when you tap with the stick, eventually you notice that you've reached the edge. You've reached what? The limit of that hall, the wall. And what do you do when you tap the edge, when you tap the wall? You course correct. And you move to the other side, and you tap until when? You tap the other wall, and then you just course correct, and you gently move back and forth. Now, if you're me as a driver, it looks a whole lot more like a wham, crash, crumple, down, 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 fetal position, rocking. Build yourself back up and do it again until you exhaust yourself, and then you learn to gently tap. I invite you to gently tap to find your way. And if you light the way, it's easier to see what there is to see. I teach a mindfulness system called the Light system. The first letter of light is what? L. L stands for leveraging empathy. Leveraging empathy. Why does empathy matter, and how in the world does it apply to business? Interesting. And what is empathy? Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. The ability to understand and share. Empathy is not sympathy. Empathy is different. Empathy is feeling something, attempting to feel what the other person is feeling and thereby understand them. As opposed to judging, which would be a declaration of an action or person being right or wrong. Empathy versus judgment. Empathy is a business skill, believe it or not. With empathy, you can build better business relationships because you can develop trust. Trust is at the foundation of all business relationships. In fact, the leading thinkers in the areas of business productivity and effectiveness, namely Mark Lesser, speaks about trust being the number one skill. The ability to trust someone and be trusted, the number one skill. And Patrick Lencioni, who speaks about dysfunction of teams and businesses, has a pyramid, and the foundation of the pyramid is lack of trust. Leads to all other dysfunction in business teams. When you have empathy in your business relationships, you can develop proactivity. You can encourage proactivity in others because you're not afraid of the reaction you might get. You're not afraid, the person who's with you is not afraid of the reaction you're going to give them. They feel trusting that you can be with whatever they produce. So they're going to be proactive about it. And trust that you'll understand them, understand their intentions, which are almost always good. When you feel safe, you're safe to innovate. You're safe to come up with ideas that might seem a little crazy and cockamamie at first to some, but someone else, if they're trusted, might say, let's talk about that. Let's invite a deeper conversation about that. Tell me what you're thinking. And then there's brainstorming, and then the ideas start popping because neither of you are afraid to say what's really there. Also, collaboration. If you know someone's got your back, are you more interested in collaborating? What if there were no judgment in a business relationship? What if you knew you could always show up and be just loved? What if you knew you could always show up and just be loving? Would it be more fun? Would you be more courageous about approaching someone for a business relationship? Do you think that you might seize more opportunities? And with more opportunities, there is more money. With empathy, you can create better business relationships and create more money in a beautiful, loving way, with proactivity, innovation, trust. And develop your leadership skills at the same time. Bonus. When you are known as someone who's trustworthy, who is trusting, you are a natural leader. People want to be around you. They want to help you. They want to be on your team. So I ask you to take a look at your life and see what you see. Are you always feeling in your life, do you always feel safe to share what you see? Do you always feel safe to share your views? And do others always feel safe to share their views with you? And the answer may not be no. The answer may not be yes. It is what it is for your life. It does invite you to look. Because when you light the way, you can see the way. And you can see with new perspective.